My name is TheAdipose, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about finding a successful name for your YouTube channel. Okay, well, greetings. This is episode 2 of my How to Be a Successful YouTuber series. And in the first part, we were talking about signing up to Google and activating your channel. But I said in that I did want to talk to you a little bit about finding a name for your channel. Now, what you need to be careful of here is that finding something which is distinctive, original, and memorable, there's a few things that you can do to kind of make sure you do this. The first thing is to not make it too long. You don't want to have like a massive sentence or anything as your channel name. You want to kind of keep it short, but at the same time it also needs to be something which is kind of pronounceable. You'll find it like I wouldn't just do like a random collection of letters or something like that. You know, it actually kind of needs to be a word or a phrase, but of course it doesn't necessarily need to be a real word. For example, if we're clicking on kind of like PewDiePie's channel here, which is obviously one of the biggest channels on YouTube. I mean, PewDiePie, as far as I'm aware, isn't really kind of a real phrase. It's like he's kind of like nickname. Now, you can, of course, give your channel a very, very practical name here. For example, this is the Britain's Got Talent channel, if we head over here. But the thing about that is that this channel then is only going to be about Britain's Got Talent. Now, you need to be careful a little bit about kind of using a kind of copyrighted thing if you're not kind of directly affiliated to that. But you're also kind of pigeonholing yourself into one specific category. So whilst there are some very successful channels that will call themselves gaming channel, tutorial channel, or something like that, you do also need to just take a step back and kind of think, well, what exactly is my content going to be? And if you're thinking about kind of having a very narrow content, then maybe you could put that into your channel name. But if you want to have a broader channel content, then don't necessarily put the topic in there. So for example, if you wanted to make your channel always about hair and makeup, then and your name is Jennifer, then you could call your channel Jennifer's Hair and Makeup, which would be great. But if on the other hand you think you might sometimes do hair and makeup and then sometimes do reviews of things you watched on TV and sometimes just do a blog about the world, then don't call it Jennifer's Hair and Makeup, because then you might just want to call it Jennifer something else. You know, get another phrase in there, but something that doesn't necessarily just give you doesn't just pigeonhole you into one category. Now, the other thing that I would consider when doing this is trying to avoid calling yourself something with a number. So just having a look at a few things here. We've got someone here called Best Talent 2012. Well, that's okay, but the problem is we're now in 2013, and soon it's going to be 2014, and it's going to be out of date. You often get people that kind of end up having to sign up to Google as I don't know, Kermit the Frog 3,074 and 3,004,074, because that's the only kind of version of Kermit the Frog left. That's not very memorable, and obviously when people start typing your name into YouTube or typing your channel name, Kermit the Frog will come up way before Kermit the Frog 3,003,078 and all that kind of stuff. So I would also avoid putting a number at the end if you can possibly avoid it. Now, the other issue, of course, with using a kind of copyrighted name is that when people start to type your name into YouTube and into search engines, that kind of copyrighted name will come up first. So for example, if you did want to say, if you're a massive I don't know, Doctor Who fan, I'll use the Adipose one for an example, and you want to call your channel Daleks Arise or something like that, when people start to type the word Daleks into there, they're going to get loads and loads of alternative Dalek results before they actually get your channel. But if you have something which is distinctive and unique for your channel, for example, if I go back to the PewDiePie one from earlier, you would hopefully therefore be the first result and more likely to get hits. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, Adipose, you're using a Doctor Who reference in there. Yep, fair enough, I got my hands up. Perhaps I haven't necessarily named my channel as well as others. However, TheAdipose is not nearly as known as some of the other bad guys, and if you start to type in TheAdipose, I am the first result. So I just about got away with that particular one. But so those are kind of tips there. Don't put loads of numbers at the end. Don't necessarily pigeonhole yourself into one category unless you know you're only ever going to do one category, in which case go for it, and avoid using a kind of a copyrighted name or a known name, because that will affect your search engine results as well. Now, the other bit of good news is you can alter your channel once you have done it. If you then kind of go into your channel, which you can do so by coming up here and clicking there and then clicking my channel. You can come straight in here, and I haven't actually set up any of the art and stuff yet, because I'm going to do that in a future tutorial with you guys. There's a little pencil just over here, and if you click on that, it says channel settings, and if you click there, there's an option in here that says account information. The Adipose Lives change, and if you were watching in the last video, I used a brand name rather than my real name for my particular one. But if you go through there, you can change it and adjust it kind of like a few times. But the other thing, of course, is you don't want to be changing your channel name all the time, because you want to build up a reputation, you want to build up an audience, you want to build up a brand name, you want to build up a known name. And if you're changing your channel all the time, then quite frankly, you won't have that. So do some research, have a little think. Have you got a little nickname, maybe at school or at work, that's kind of distinctive and original that you wouldn't mind being known by? Is your real name actually quite distinctive? Have you got a kind of a little name? I don't know. But you know what I'm saying. Think around it. What could be your channel name? What's going to be distinctive, and what is going to go well? I would also absolutely avoid putting anything kind of rude in there, because you'll get censored all over the place, and the internet could be quite a there's a lot of kind of trolls around, and you might find yourself getting kind of more grief for that as well. I hope that's given you some useful tips, and of course, if you are getting stuck on kind of names for your channels, then of course you can just come straight over to the front page of YouTube and just start scrolling through and see what kind of other things you've got. You can get channels which are just named subtle things, unsubtle things like lyrics, and then you've got all the kind of personal channels made by various peoples as well. If we kind of if we start adding channels on various things, you can just find loads in different categories. So go and have a look through, get some inspiration, and then come up with a name for your channel. Hope you found that useful. Please give the video a like if you have found it useful, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the latest YouTube tutorials as well. Take care, see you soon, bye bye.